What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TheSlamDuncan YouTube channel. We gotta talk about this game. Not gonna lie, I wasn't really feeling talking about this game. I was very demoralized by this loss, but it is worth talking about, and I'm going to talk about and kind of break some stuff down here for the Bulls. But Bulls lose 120 to 108 to the Atlanta Hawks. Main storyline from this game is that Zach LaVine had 50 points, and he had 39 in the first half, which is incredible to watch. He had at one point scored the last 25 straight points for the Chicago Bulls in the second quarter. Zach LaVine is absolutely on fire in the first half, and that's obviously the big storyline here. But main thing is that Bulls lost, right? But thing is that we can take this two different ways. A lot of people have decided, wow, empty calories, Zach, 50 points, your team still loses. And then there's the other side of like, well, this dude put up 50, and the rest of the team did not come ready to play, right? So I'm going to talk about both sides here. Just disclaimer, I'm on the side that Zach did one hell of a job last night, along with Vucevic, but no one else came ready to play. Too much standing around, no one cutting when they're supposed to. Guys are turning the ball over. Guys weren't ready to catch the ball. I want to show you why. And I want to kind of break some stuff down for you. But before we get into it, though, make sure you hit that like button if you're new to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. I want to talk about this game and just kind of break down like when Zach is going off and then when the defense changes, right? Too many times so far since I saw that, since the end of the game to up till now, I've seen so many people start saying, okay, if you had 39 in the first half, then there's no excuse for you only having 11 in the second half. How dare you do something like that? That's a horrible job. We need 65 from you if you're going to have 39 in the first half. And that type of logic really bothers me, because if you're saying something like that, to me that's showing that you're not watching the game at all. And I'm calling out a lot of people right now. And I don't want to go through every individual one. There's some people I follow that I saw some tweet stuff like that. But the problem with that logic is that you're not watching the game. Because if you're going to tell me that Zach LaVine should be scoring continuously over 2 or 3 defenders, but at the same time you're pissed off if he shoots a shot when he's doubled, then why you can't do that, right? That's being hypocritical, right? You can't be yelling at me and say Zach should have had 65 tonight no matter what, and then be upset at him for taking a quote-unquote bad shot if he's doubled, right? And this is from them, right? That's being hypocritical. That's not being fair. And in this game specifically, we even saw Zach. He was hitting, shots when he was double teamed in the first half, and then he was taking shots when he was double teamed in the second half. But again, though, is that what you really want? Do you really want Zach LaVine to be shooting those types of shots all the time? Honestly, no, I don't. He can make tough shots, but if he's doubled, he needs to find the open man. But I'm going to show you that he actually tried. He tried finding the open guys, and unfortunately, the Bulls didn't. The other players, the other guys that aren't all-stars, did not come ready to play in this game at all. The main reason for this loss, though, is the defense. We could not stop Trae Young at all. This drop defense that Billy Donovan is continuously deciding to run, I'm getting sick of it at this point. It was just, in the first half, it was just alley-oop central for the Atlanta Hawks. We just saw constantly, it was like, Trae Young gets in the middle of the lane, alley-oop to Clint Capella. Trae Young gets in the middle of the lane, alley-oop to Clint Capella, right? That can't happen anymore. It's gotten to the point where I'm like, we can't be running this drop zone defense anymore. And the reason why is because Vucevic himself, right now, he is not that good of a defender, right? He isn't mobile enough to be able to stay out in front of the guard and then wait for his main defender to come in front of him and then get back to his man in time. He's not mobile enough to do such a thing, right? And I've been yelling for a switch in this defensive coverage because Trae Young was able to just get anywhere he wanted to, no matter what happened, right? It was just simple pick and roll. All of a sudden, he's at the free throw line. That's too far deep, right? That's the big issue right now for the Chicago Bulls, is that this drop defense, it either needs to, you keep this drop defense, but we need help from the weak side, or you got to change this defense completely. I don't like the idea of running the same defense, especially against an all-star caliber guard like in Trae Young, the entire game. You do not do that, right? If you do that, he's just going to know how to exploit that defensive coverage. You need to switch up your defense against all-stars, especially point guards, right? You need to throw double teams at him at one possession. Then the next possession you drop off. Then the next possession you switch, right? Therefore, he is trying to constantly adjust to your defense. He's not all of a sudden knowing, wait, oh, they're just going to drop? Okay, I can just do this every single time. Now, don't get me wrong. This whole bad defense isn't just on Vucevic. It's also on the guards as well. They're not getting over the screen in time. They're not staying in front of their man. But the thing is if this is how it's going to be right now, where the guards are constantly just going to get picked, right, then we can't just leave Vucevic out to dry. That can't happen. So something's got to change with the defense. That's the main reason for this loss. But the other reason for this loss is the third quarter. We saw in the third quarter something change. AKA, it was Zach LaVine is now being double-teamed at half court, and then even at times he was getting triple-teamed once he got past the half-court line, right? That change right there is a major change, because this dude just put up 39 in the first half and basically could not miss. But now the Atlanta Hawks are saying, okay, we're not going to have Zach LaVine beat us tonight. We're going to have the other guys beat us tonight. We're going to have them shoot wide open shots and hope that they keep beat us from the three-point line. We're not letting Zach shoot any more shots tonight. We're letting Satoransky. We're letting Patrick Williams. We're going to let Larry Markkanen. We're going to let Kobe White shoot the open shots instead of letting Zach LaVine shoot a shot. Zach LaVine shooting a shot for them, even if it's contested by two guys, is more threatening to them than Kobe White shooting a wide open shot or Larry Markkanen shooting a wide open shot, right? And that's the biggest issue right now for the Chicago Bulls, is when someone like LaVine is getting double teamed or when Vucevic is getting double teamed, right? Guys need to move. You have to move, right? You have to get to the open spots. You need to cut. But the main thing is you cannot just stand at the three-point line. That is the last thing you want to do, especially if one of your all-stars is drawing a double team. You need to think, I need to score at the bucket if that guy over there, Vucevic or LaVine, is drawing two. We need to score at the rim. We need to score in the paint first, then think, let's shoot a three-point shot. But in that third quarter, the Atlanta Hawks took a risk. They decided, hey, we're going to have Satoransky, Markkanen, whoever it is. Don't let the all-star score. Let the other guys shoot the wide-open three-point shot. And it worked perfectly. So, there's a couple of things you can take from this. First off, I'm going to say right now, I want to talk about some stats just off the bat. So, let's keep in mind here. 13 three-point shots made by the entire team by the Chicago Bulls, okay? Let's move over to individual stat lines, right? LaVine had 7. Vucevic had 3. That means the other guys that aren't all-stars on this Chicago Bulls team made a total of 3 3-point shots. That's unacceptable. So you look at the overall team 3-point shoots, like, it's okay. You know, it's not awful, but it's not great, right? So it's pretty decent, right? But if you're looking at, Vucevic had 3 and Zach had 7, so your 2 all-stars had 10, but the rest of the team had 3, that's a serious issue, right? And we're seeing with this team, and we've known this pretty much since the start of the season, that there are not that many good average shooters on this team. Unless your name is Zach LaVine and now Vucevic, who's come in, you should not be thinking shoot the three-point shot first. And now, especially with Garrett Temple out, right? These guys need to think score at the rim first. They're not that good of three-point shooters to just be standing out there consistently. They're not Joe Harris, right? They're not Klay Thompson. So that's the main issue, and I want to show you something from the third quarter, but we'll get to that in a second. But then number 2. So 41 made field goals for the Chicago Bulls, okay? Now, let's look again at the 2 All-Stars. Zach LaVine had 18, Vucevic had 11, right? You add those up, you get 29 between the 2 of them. So that means that the others, right, of the team, they made a total of 12 shots total. And I believe, if I did my math correctly, they were 12 for 36 on the night. That's not enough. You need to do better. And that's shooting 33%, right? Between the other guys not named Vucevic or LaVine, they shot 33% from the field. Our starters not named Vucevic or LaVine combined for a total of 8 points on the night. And that is unacceptable. Now, here's the thing, though. You could be like, well, Zach is shooting too much, or Vucevic is shooting too much. No, they did not. Zach LaVine was going absolutely insane, right, in the first half. Most of his shots came in the first half, right? So these 31 shots you're seeing, that's not that high, really, to be honest. He could have had easily 50 shots if he wanted to because of how hot he was, right? But he was passing the ball. Vucevic, same thing. He did not take too many shots. These guys weren't ball hogs. The other guys just missed their shots. And I'm going to show you this right here. Play by play in the third quarter. So keep in mind, the Bulls are up by 13 right now. All right. And you start the third quarter. And here we go. So LaVine got that cutting layup to start. But then look what happens then. Miss from Satoransky. A missed 3-point shot from Satoransky. Missed 3 from Zach LaVine. Which, again, it's like, we don't want to be shooting threes, even if your name is Zach LaVine right now. Don't be shooting threes. Missed 3-point shot from Nikola Vucevic. Bad turnover by Thaddeus Young, which we don't need to talk about that one right now. Then again though, missed shot by Kobe White, wide open 3-point shot. Out of bounds. This right here, this one made me upset because this was a very good pass by Vucevic. Patrick Williams just wasn't ready to catch that ball, right? Missed 3-point shot by Patrick Williams. Missed 3-point shot by Nikola Vucevic, right? We keep going. And then another out of bounds, which shouldn't have been out of bounds because guys just weren't ready to catch that ball, okay? We'll keep going here. Missed 3-point shot by Kobe White. Keep it going. Missed 3-point shot by Lauri Markkanen. Missed 3-point shot by Troy Brown Jr., right? You're seeing what I'm trying to show you, right? There are too many threes taken in this quarter. And a lot of the time, though, you're seeing stuff like this. So, for example, again, I'm going to talk about the Hawks made that adjustment coming out in the second half. They're like, okay, we're going to double LaVine as quickly as we can, get the ball out of his hands. We're going to force the others to make the shots, right? And this is something that we saw in the third quarter, right? You look at how far they double team Zach. Like, it's an immediate double team right when he catches that ball. And then this is what Vucevic was doing, though. He was taking advantage of this, and he was going inside. Great pass by Zach right here. And look, you get an inside layup instead of shooting the 3-point shot. But as you saw in this play-by-play, instead of the guys looking towards the rim, they were looking towards the 3-point line first. And that's where the Bulls get in trouble. Because if we start missing those threes, long shot, long rebound, Hawks are out and going, and we know that our defense in transition is awful, right? Here's another good... I love this view because this is just showing you how quickly they're picking up Zach, right? And again, he didn't really score that much in the third quarter, okay? And still third quarter. Look, they're picking up half court here, and then immediately, just from this high pick and roll, look at how many guys come towards Zach. First off, right here, I don't know what Lauri Markkanen is thinking, but it's this right here by Markkanen. This is the problem. This is the main issue right here, because his man, Solomon Hill, is standing up in the middle of nowhere. He's basically playing free safety, okay? And Lauri Markkanen, right now, he needs to cut to the rim. He needs to fill this space. Instead of just standing at that 3-point line, which if, let's say, Zach throws it to Kobe, that's an easy rotation for Trae Young to give back to Lauri Markkanen, right? And Kobe's not even in a position to be a threat from 3-point range. This is the main problem, okay? But watch as Zach does his drive right here. Look at how many guys are collapsing onto him. Now, here's the right thing to do in this type of situation. And this is like basically from the third quarter on. This is what was happening. And Zach was passing that ball. Okay? But instead of standing at that 3-point line, what Lauri Markkanen is doing, you see what Patrick Williams does in this play specifically. LaVine draws 3. Alright? He's done his job. And he should not be shooting, by the way. He draws 3. Patrick Williams drives or cuts to the rim. And this is what I want to see. If your all-star is drawing 3 defenders, don't settle for a 3-point shot. You have about a 35% chance of making those 3 points. Go towards the rim. Well, I know it's going to be a bucket 99% of the time. And right here, dunk, right? Easier shot to make than the 3-point shot, right? If you have the ability to cut backdoor and get 2 easy points, you take that over the 3-point line. And this is where analytics has come into play and ruined the NBA. Because everyone thinks, oh, we got to shoot threes. Well, let me tell you, man. When the Golden State Warriors were on that amazing run, especially the 73-9 season, when they had KD, they were one of the best teams from 2-point range. They weren't the best team from 3-point range. Yes, you have the greatest shooter of all time in Steph Curry, and you have Klay Thompson, who's also top 5, but they dominated inside. They dominated the mid-range game. They understood that the game isn't just about threes and layups. It's about scoring everywhere on the floor. And we saw with Zach in this Hawks game that he can score anywhere on the floor. That's what makes him so deadly, right? But for this team to take that next step to where they become a better team, they need to start taking advantage. If their all-stars are drawing double teams or even triple teams, They need to look to score at the bucket and not shoot the three-point shot. I honestly am appalled by how many Bulls fans are like, wow, LaVine lost us this game. I'm like, dude, you can't say LaVine lost us this game. LaVine had 50, Vucevic had 25, the team as a whole had 108. That means the team, the rest of the guys, the not all-stars, scored a total of 33 points tonight. That's awful. That's unacceptable. And we saw in the previous games that the other guys are scoring, right? And that's necessary for this team, especially now that you have two all-stars. Even when, especially in the fourth quarter, we saw it was the LaVine and Vucevic pick and roll, which has been so deadly as we've seen. But we saw what the Atlanta Hawks were doing. The Atlanta Hawks, they're like, okay, once this LaVine-Vucevic pick and roll happens, we're going to double LaVine immediately, and then we're going to pre-rotate to Vucevic. So when LaVine throws it to Vucevic, who's the release valve in that situation, they pre-rotated to Vucevic. So now he's not open for a three-point shot, and he's not able to drive right to the rim. That means it's a 2v3 for the rest of the guys, right? We have three guys somewhere else, probably standing in the corner, which they shouldn't be doing, and they have two Hawks players to defend those three guys. That should easily be a layup. And unfortunately, our guys are thinking, no, let's stay in the three-point line instead. Let's just stand out here and take the wide-open three-point shot, which you either need to knock that down or you need to go to the rim and score. As much as Kobe White struggled, I give him credit for the start of the fourth quarter because he was the only dude that was taking advantage of the LaVine double team effectively. Once LaVine threw it out to him, he drove right into the lane as the Hawks were playing 4v3 defense, right? So Kobe, with seeing that there is no rim protector because they have two guys out on LaVine, simple layup. And he did that 3 times. But then he got away from that as the fourth quarter went on, and he started shooting open three-point shots, and he struggled from there all night. He went 1 for 5, right? That's the problem right now for the Chicago Bulls. But last thing I want to talk about is I think the Chicago Bulls, this game specifically, shows you that how much this team needs work, okay? And I bring this up because I've been very upset with a lot of Bulls fans all year. A lot of Bulls fans, for some odd reason, thought that, hey, this team is going to be a 6 seed coming into the season. Oh, they're going to easily make the 4 seed. And I even said in my prediction before this season started, don't expect anything amazing from the Chicago Bulls this year. I had them in my prediction ranked 10th in the Eastern Conference. And we know the Eastern Conference is a weaker conference in the West. I was told that I was stupid. But if you're looking at what's happening, it's like just look before this Vucevic trade happened. What told you that the Chicago Bulls were going to be a top 4 seed or a top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference this year? Last year, we were awful. Yes, Boylen was that coach, but it showed last year that even with Boylen that coach, that there was a lack of talent on this team. This team was not well constructed. There are guys that are missing for this team to become a great team, right? You had one dude that is the sole shot creator for this team. So how in the hell is that team supposed to go from 22 wins all of a sudden up to over 500 record? There is no way a team is supposed to do that, okay? Now, with the Vucevic trade, it takes time to get these guys acclimated. So yes, this team should now be a playoff team. But I see too many Bulls fans saying that this team should easily be in the top 4 right now. Absolutely not. This team at max is going to get the 5 seed, and I doubt they're even going to get there. This trade happened too late into the season for us to have the time to form that chemistry and then hopefully go on a very long winning streak and then get up to the 4 seed. There is no way this team is going to do that. The max this team is going to get to is 5, but in reality, I think the max they're going to probably get is to probably 7. Not going to lie, it looks like we're probably getting the 9th seed as things are going right now. All right? But get it out of your heads that this team was supposed to, before the trade happened, was supposed to be in the playoffs. This team was nowhere near a playoff caliber team before the trade happened. This trade that did happen now makes us a playoff caliber team, but we are nowhere near a top 4 team in the East. Nowhere near. Absolutely not. Even if this team started the season as is right now, we would not be a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. This team has a lot of work that needs to be done. There are a lot of holes on this team, and we're seeing it all. We're missing a point guard. We're missing a catch-and-shoot wing. We're missing a good, solid bench, right? We're missing rebounding off the bench. There are a lot of holes on this team, and Karnisovas understands that. He understands that this team is still missing a lot, and he has the assets to go out and cap space, kind of. Not much cap space this upcoming offseason, but the next offseason, we have a lot of cap space to go out and make a bunch of changes to this team. Don't expect this team to be, like, amazing, right? But this game specifically should show you, when your two All-Stars combine for 75 points, one of them goes off for a 50 bomb, that this team has issues. There is a lot of lack of support. There is a lack of support on this team right now. Your starting point guard that played 33 minutes and 0 for 6 did not score a point. He had 10 assists, but most of them were to LaVine or Vucevic in this game. Thaddeus Young, as much as I've loved him all season, this dude seemed like he was napping all game. He was nowhere to be found. Patrick Williams just stood at the 3-point line all game. Kobe White couldn't score until the fourth quarter. Larry Markkanen was just missing shots all over the place, and his defense was absolutely atrocious this game, right? Daniel Theis, for some odd reason, only got 11 minutes. And I think that's also a big thing I want to point out in this game. I unfortunately think that Billy Donovan did not do a good job in this game at all. I like the Billy Donovan hiring at the start of the season. I'm not going to be coming out immediately and saying that he should be fired or anything like that, as a bunch of Bulls fans are right now. But when Markkanen and Kobe White get 28 or 26 minutes off the bench over Troy Brown Jr. and Daniel Theis, who Brown and Theis are two defensive guys, that's an issue. These two guys need to be the first off the bench. Not Kobe White, not Larry Markkanen right now. If you want this team to succeed and to win, you need to play these two guys first, not these two guys, right? And then, even to be honest, I'm a little upset that Alfred Camino did not play, because we were struggling at that 4 spot to have consistent defense. Larry Markkanen was awful. Well, maybe put in Alfred Camino, because he's at least a better defender than Larry Markkanen. So that's all I have for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed my upset video, but it is upsetting because this is a game that this team needed. This team needed it drastically. And now, as you look, we're still in the 10th seed. We're 2 games behind the Pacers. We're 3 games behind the Knicks. So we're right there. We have a bunch of winnable games coming up again. Memphis is coming up, I think, twice. Orlando's coming up. Charlotte's coming up. We got to win those games. But, again, though, don't expect the team to get up to here, right? We're not going to get up to here. Maybe around this area right here. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.